Good morning, everyone. Ah! My videos are raw. I'm a raw person. A lot of things on my mind. I wanted to go out and check the pond today and show y'all kind of what I do in the morning, but I'm annoyed because if anyone knows how to turn off data roam warning messages on a Samsung, I'd appreciate it. It's annoying every time I try to do a video. It pops up when my phone jumps to the Mexican towers. But anyway, trying to share more and more what I'm doing. More of my adventure and voyage out here. So one thing, the first thing I do in the morning is I make my coffee. Man, you got to have a good cup of coffee. I tell you what, there's something about getting the engine going in the morning, especially out here. But I've got a lot of different projects going. So I really, as I get back to making videos, I'm trying to figure out how to like consolidate different projects and what I'm doing. There's a million things going on out here and I get scatterbrained. But anyway, I'm just going to start showing you stuff and hopefully it gels together. So part of what I'm doing, you know, as you guys know, well, there are three main projects. One was living off grid, the challenge of doing that. Two was building, I forgot. I mean, it's an automated ranch. I got that one. Building the ranch in the desert. Oh, no, there you go. One is living off grid. Beep. We'll start that over. We'll cut that out. No, actually, we won't because I'm raw. So the first thing was a challenge to myself. Could I live off grid in the desert? That was number one. Number two was building an automated ranch, right? Automated farming. I've been doing that my whole life. Automation for big corporations. Now I'm trying to do something for people. And all the software I write and the systems will be given away. And the third is greening the desert. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. So I'm looking for a big whiteboard. I don't know if they sell those anymore. Y'all let me know if I can get those at a big box store. I hate spending money with them, but I need a big whiteboard. I'd love to start doing war room type stuff if you guys want to do that. Maybe twice a week. Just sit down and go through all the projects, all the fails, the good stuff, what I'm working on, blah, 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 blah. Here comes that helicopter. There's a helicopter that flies directly over me. They can fly everywhere. They fly directly over me. There's nobody else for miles away. And I think they fly over me because they're watching me. Anyway, and it might be a safety thing too, because I was thinking for a moment that it usually flies over like real hot days and heat waves, and maybe they're just like the medics. They're just trying to make sure a brother's okay. I don't know. Anyway. So, oh goodness, I'm not sure if that's reversed. Can you read in reverse? But what this is anyway, it's a whiteboard, and it has nothing to do with month or days. I'm just using it because I dry eraser boards are how I started in corporate America, and I love using them. But it's the beginning of the monitoring. So, you know, red light, green light, you know, green light, everything's great. Red light, something's bad. And so the first things I'm kind of getting to is one, the internet. I'm gonna poke a hole in them and I'll put LED lights in them. So if the internet is down, it'll be red. If the internet's up, it'll be green because green is good. And the next one is the fridge. So I know I have a problem with this fridge. I think I do. I'm not sure. Well, I know I do. Some dummy decided to put it in the greenhouse. That can get to be 120 degrees. Yeah, refrigerators in 120 degrees stays on all day. So I want to monitor that, like the stupid things I do and the smart things I do. But so I was thinking about doing is putting there's a vibration sensor that I have with the Raspberry Pi Pico. Well, actually I used it with the Arduino, but I used it for the Raspberry Pi Pico, and put it on the motor on the refrigerator. So the vibration will show me how often the condenser cuts on and shuts off. So is the refrigerator running all day, or is it, running efficiently? So as I move it to a more efficient place or I shade it, I can see how much it's running versus not. I always love data. That's just my mind as an engineer. I need data. I can't do feelings and emotions and weird stuff like that. I want to know precisely if I move the fridge down 4 feet in the greenhouse, how, if it's running 25% less than what it's running when it's higher up, and so that'll help me to make decisions, but I need data to make good decisions. So anyway, that's what the fridge is. The pond, that's the water level, like the height of the water level. I might do temperature, I could do maybe like pH or something, oxygen levels. So, and that's just the first pond that I did, which is actually right here in the greenhouse, the aquaponic pond. I don't know what that is. I write stuff down. Pot winter? Pot. Don't grow pot. That's illegal. Pot aerator. I have no idea. What the heck was I thinking that morning? Oh, pot water. I don't know what that means. So we'll figure out what that monitoring is. I wrote it down. I have project management software I use. So all my ideas I put in there, but I put it on this board, which, potable water, pot water. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, I am not a cannabis grower. I'd love to be, but no, not competing with the cartels. Nope. They do bad things to people. So no. And so do governments, but we won't go there. Right. Potable water. So the level of potable water. So I've got about 7 or 8 totes at the top of the hill, which is where I get my water pressure from. And I want to know when the potable water drops too fast, because if it drops too fast, it means the dummy did something stupid. Somebody left the water on. I don't know. The watering automation for the garden failed. So I want to know if the potable water that I use for irrigation and drinking drops too low. If it drops too low too fast, that means there's a failure in the system. And that'll mean a solenoid, which I'll have set to, what is it? Plumbers can help me if I'm wrong. Originally open, OO. There's OBO. There's a solenoid that's originally closed, and if you apply a power to it, it opens, and the other ones are open, and you apply power to it, and they close. So that one would be open, but in error condition. Not only would there be a red light here, but then it would actually close because that's an error condition. If water is pouring out too fast, it means a cow or coyote chewed through the line. There's a failure in the system. PVC burst. Someone left the water running. All these things are real problems that have happened out here. And this is why you got to do things before you automate things, because then you'll understand what you want to do. The last one here, but that says water level drop. So pot water. Red means that we're low on water. Green means we're good. Water level drop was that last one, which means the water level is dropping too fast and we need to take a recovery action like turning the water off. Anyway, that's not really what I wanted to show you. I'm going to walk out to the pond. But, so every morning when I drink my coffee, I think I process thoughts. But right now, I got to turn the water on. Oh, I don't know if I've shown you that. That's my squash and I think cucumber, which is getting awesomely big. I need to get them better. I haven't finished the greenhouse roof, as you can tell, and it's just kind of thrown together because I haven't figured out what I wanted to do until now. And in the last month or so, I figured out what I do want to do. But so this is my shade. So the shade is going to grow across the roof of the greenhouse. So that's the organic shade, the vegetation shade. There are a few trees that are growing in here also, which will be a part of that. And then, of course, I'm only going to do this greenhouse. I think only 20% light is going to come through. The rest is going to be completely blocked out. Well, lessons learned in West Texas. You do not want to have plastic. Plastic is a no-no. I mean, I'll use it, but it won't be like the main greenhouse. It certainly won't be a greenhouse the cob house is in. And the plastic, it doesn't last that long, and the winds out here are too high. So it's going to be a hard plastic roof. But anyway, so each morning I come out here running low on power. So I turn on the water pumps manually. I don't have to because I've got the little timer that goes right there. But let me see. One of these is aeration, and I think this is the aeration one, and this is the aquaponic pump one. Yeah, that's the right one. And that's going. That's the pond right there. I cut them on. The timer can do it, but I'm a little more efficient. Every morning's different. Today's a shady morning, so I waited a little while to turn it on. And once that cuts on, then the pond starts to get aerated. The aerator I run overnight sometimes to keep the pond aerated for the fish. The water levels are a little low, but I'll talk about that later. I want a little more flow. That's not enough aeration. So, and this is what I talk about. You do things manually till you understand the fails in the system and what you want to do before you go off and automate anything. Like that, as an automation engineer, that's the right way to do it if you ask me. Hey, little guys. There's a koi. I guess they're hungry already, which is weird. I don't know why they're hungry this early, and I don't know why that pump is only dripping water out. It shouldn't be dripping water out right now. It should be spraying it out. So, might be clogged with algae. Not sure. But they always come right here. Usually they don't do it early in the morning because there's not a lot of oxygen in the water, so they're more lethargic. But this is where they come to be fed. I'll figure out what's going on with the pump later. Something could be clogged in it. The pump's making a little noise, a little grinding noise. This is an old pump I used back when I used to build koi ponds. So it's not in the best condition. I do need to probably take the impeller out and clean everything, but I haven't done that. But anyway, I just love coming out here in the morning. Whew. But anyway, boom, boom. That's what I do for water. This old trailer, it is a blessing and a curse, baby. I love you, but you are a beast. I've welded this thing at least 5 times, but it's a great thing because it's making me better at welding. I'm gonna walk over here to the pond, which is over there. Oh, man, it's just beautiful out here every morning. Got to be careful where I walk. And yeah, I said I was not gonna wear flip-flops out here. Yeah, I'm just me. Let me be me. We do have a rattlesnake population growth, which is not great, but I do watch where I step. And inside the fence line, you know, people ask, how many rattlesnakes have you seen out here? Going to town on the road a lot. In town, I've seen a few. Out here where I'm at, I've only seen 3 or 4 rattlesnakes in the fence line, which includes the one from 2 days ago in the chicken coop, in 3 years. So I would say I don't have a rattlesnake infestation, and I've seen more poisonous snakes in Maryland than I have West Texas. So inside the fence line, I'll say is generally safe. There are a lot of birds of prey up here. They stay in the tops and these overcroppings of rocks. And the owls are out here at night. There's no real safe time for the snakes. During the day, the eagles and hawks will get them. At night, the owls get them. But anyway, that's my theory. My other theory is I run the bobcat a lot. I run the backhoe, and I've got a wind turbine, and that turbine's spinning. All of that is vibration. And someone told me snakes hate vibration. So or they can't hunt. They use vibration to hunt. So they stay out of areas where there's a lot of human vibrational activity because they can't actually hunt. I don't know. But anyway, this is what I want to show you. All of that. This is the pond I'm working on. So I put these are some old tattered shade cloths I put up to reduce evaporation. This is a sign of an intruder. Water goes from there up here. It is a horrible beast that just never listens to me. By the tracks of it, it's called a dog. Which is okay. This is their pond. I'm fine with that. For right now, I'm working on their bigger pond. I'm working on a bigger pond. I think they'll go to the big pond. But anyway, so this was just learning how to seal the pond, and it's sealed. You know, it's not full because I'm filling it manually. I'm going and getting water and filling it in the truck, and that's a bad idea. If you move out here to the desert or somewhere, you don't want to haul water. That is the worst decision you will ever make. It will destroy your truck. It'll destroy your trailer. And that's why I've welded that trailer so many times. Yes, you can get a bigger trailer. Yes, you can. If you got the budget to do that. I don't have a budget to do that. So appreciate everybody on Patreon and anyone who donates to the project. And people donate in so many ways. It's been awesome in terms of what people have donated. I mean, weird stuff. Like I had people just writing me letters when I first moved out here. You know, there are a lot of things people have done to help. Financially, though, I do appreciate everyone who's been backing up the project on Patreon, and I do apologize for not doing a lot of videos, I guess, over the last year. But I'm getting my act back together. Anyway, I threw the shade cloths over, which they cost a lot of money as well, and the wind just rips them to shreds. So I'll put I think this one started on the greenhouse. After it got ripped up, I just put it out here to reduce evaporation. What I found is that there's not a lot of evaporation out here, and I don't know why. I have to guess. I keep looking at the camera, by the way, to let y'all know, because I'm trying to figure out how to get my phone to stop jumping on data roam. When it does that, it stops the video, and when I do things, I need things to work I hate problems, and that's a problem because then I got to go back and edit the video. That's why I flip the camera around to make sure it's still recording. But I turned data off, and it looks like the warning's not popping up. This is just not good for someone who lives by the border. So anyway, I've filled it to this level before. The last time it was at this level where I put this drain pipe right here is when we got that storm about a month ago before I went to my son's graduation. We had a huge storm, which was July the 8th. No, August 8th. That's when it was. So over a month ago. And when it rained, everything worked out perfectly. That black pipe right there. The little dam backed up water. I pumped that water up into here. It filled up to this level. I wasn't ready to take it to the height of what I want to take it to. So, a lot of it slowly evaporated out. And I've been refilling it, just to make sure it doesn't drain too low. When it drains too low, the bentonite, you can see the clay, it just starts cracking. I'm not convinced if that's a good or bad thing. I think naturally in nature that happens. And then the next time it floods and muddy water comes in, it fills in the cracks, which creates even more and more of a seal. And so maybe that's how ponds self-seal. I don't know. I'm learning. I'm figuring out as I go. But anyway, so I don't want the water level to drop too low. I want it to stay, the liner, clay liner to stay smooth. How you said that. Oh my goodness. Do y'all see that? That's a tadpole. I don't know if you can see it because I'm not looking at the camera. That's so freaking awesome. See, because there are toads out here. And this is a good statement from the movie when we were kids. Build it and they will come. Go out to the desert, get water going, and life will come. Which is one thing that amazed me out here is that there already were frogs when I got here. There were mosquitoes. There were dragonflies. There were all of that. And so not only was this place, did it used to be an ocean a very long time ago, millions of years ago, but very recently there was water. And the drought is ending, so the water's coming back. So buying land out in dry lands in western Texas is a great idea. So anyway, I was going to talk about this pond for a minute. So this is the first pond. It started by hand. We dug it by hand. My sons and I, and the dogs are helping. I did not ask for the dogs' help, but they're helping anyway. And I'll show you how they're helping. So as I'm filling it, and this is why I'm filling it manually by getting water, they keep digging it out. So you can see that, all of the bentonite clay is here, and I sealed all the sides, and they decided to dig all of this out because they like laying out here under the shade, which is fine. I love them, and I like them to have a cool place to swim and relax, but they keep digging. And so that's why the pond was kind of round, but here it just gets all dug out. So before the water level comes to here, I have to fill this back in with the bentonite, and I need to level this out. You don't want too much more than a 3% grade if you're trying to do a self-sealing pond. So I kind of want this area to be full of water before I stop filling. We just can't seem to get a good storm rain like I had before my son's graduation when I filled this up, where I almost filled it up. Being a typical man, once it filled up, I was like, nope, not big enough. So, so I raised the walls on the other side to take it up another foot or two. I want the middle to be at least 5 feet deep. Someone told me if you get your pond out here 5 feet deep, that it will hold water year round because the temperatures that low underground keep the water cool enough. And that's what I was thinking about evaporation out here, is that it gets cool at night all the time. The hottest part of the day gets very hot. I mean, we're in a heat wave. It can get up to 110, 113. And I'm sure there is water evaporating, but it's not much. And I think it's because it cools down at night. And by the time the sun gets the water hot, which this water never gets hot or hot enough to evaporate, it can't get but so much of it. So anyway, that's the pond. The whole philosophy in self-sealing ponds is I'm mimicking a river. So this is basically my cobalt masher. You get in here and you wash clothes. So I put my clothes in here and I start washing. That's not what I do. Yeah, actually it's what I do, but I don't wash my clothes in here. This is a swirl filter. I used to use these in ponds. So what happens is the water comes on the bottom. Hits the bottom and it slowly swirls up. The heavy solids fall to the bottom. all the clay and silt filter to the top and come out of this pipe right here and go into the pond. And that's what you want. You want the clay and the silt, like those things are what help seal the pond. The rocks and the sand that fall to the bottom, those are what keep spaces between the clay that allows the water to get away. So when I turn this on, and I'm not actually filling from the bottom, I just fill from a hose, which it kind of does the same thing, but I'm doing it manually because I want to watch it first. Because again, when you do automation, you want to do it first and understand the failures and what you want to do before you actually go and do the automation. That's why I'm out here and I'm doing it as opposed to hiring people to do it and not understanding and not learning. So this actually, I feel, sealed this pond. So we tried to seal this pond a bunch of other times, which is with this, my cobalt masher, which we used to use to seal ponds, or to mash down dirt for pavement construction and other things. But we use it to mash down here, and we did a little sealing with it, but it didn't work. This pond didn't get sealed. Now, mind you, I have a different type of bentonite clay I'm using. It didn't seal until I started using muddy water like that to fill in the cracks in here, because it takes, some people say, about 2 weeks for bentonite clay to expand and fill in the cracks. And most people online do it a dry method. I'm doing a wet method because just putting the powder in dry, while that can be automated, it would take a lot longer to automate. So I like to put it in wet. I can make 20 of these and set those up in the arroyo and actually self-seal the arroyo in other ponds. But everything I do is automation. I don't like doing things twice. And the human race has got to get out of doing things twice that we significantly need. And what we significantly need is greening the desert, and that's not going to be done by hand. That's got to be automated. And this is the shallow area. But what I wanted to show you over here, and so I built all this up. This is the extra 2 feet after the storm, and there goes another beast in here stealing my water and its footprints. And I'm thinking, it's hard to tell from here because I got all these shade cloths hanging down, but it's about 30 feet across. So it's like 30 feet all the way around. But this is the escape pipe right here, is where the water gets away. I'll probably put an angle on this. An elbow. And determine where I want the water height to be, concrete this in, or put some rocks to hold it in so the dogs don't move it. But this is just here because I want it to be here as I raise the water level to determine where I want it, how high I gotta go. But anyway, the water escapes here, goes underground, and escapes into here, the bigger pond. So down here, oh no, I just lied. Did you catch that? I lied. It used to go underground, doesn't go underground anymore. It comes out here, and somebody needed the hose for something else, so they cut it here. So this pond actually is going to have a stream that goes down into there, or I'm going to just do this whole area as a bigger pond. But this pond is getting bigger and bigger, because once again, I'm a man, and bigger's better. So I'm just excavating it out. I mean, down here at the deepest level, it's not that deep. Down here's probably about 4 to 5 feet deep once I finish all the wall and dam area all along there. So anyway, so it storms, pump water from the dam to the upper pond. It overflows to this pond. This pond fills up, it'll overflow to another pond. It overflows to another pond. Because when you're greening the desert, it's all about water and sinking water into the ground. I don't think any of these ponds are going to be 100% sealed, so water will always seep in. So things like mesquite and everything else will get water, and they'll take off once you increase ground moisture. The goal is not to take the water and keep the water. The goal is to put the water in the ground, and that's what brings life back to the desert. There are all types of aquifers, and without boring y'all and going through a list of what those aquifers are, the bottom line is that the more water you put in the ground, the more water and ground vapor there is, and that's what these trees need to come back. So anyway, fighting desertification. So this was another little minor arroyo from one of my hills. So it rains up there, the water comes down the hill, hits the dam, and the water backs up here, and also will help to fill this new pond that I'm working on. But I mean, that's that. If I had a whiteboard, I'd show you on a whiteboard, and eventually I will do that once I can find one. But the goal is the dams to slow the water down, which will give me a few days to pump that water via solar panels and can be automated into the ponds to top all the ponds off because they're not going to be in locations where the arroyos are. The arroyo will continue to drain because those dams are not sealed. And I don't think I'll ever even try to seal them. I mean, I'll try to slow the water down, but I won't try to seal it. And the only reason I like the idea of slowing the water down behind the dams is because I've noticed it never really seals. It's an arroyo, which is made of rocks and sand and other things. And there is an underground stream thing that happens underneath the arroyos here. This is another arroyo that I dammed up. This one's fun because the dog likes to poop in it. Dogs. This is why I hate and I love puppies at the same time. But it's really cool because now you can see all this vegetation that's growing here. So every time the river flows, this dam backs up. And this is the dam I'll use for filling water in other places that I don't actually use because the dogs like to poop here. But there'll eventually be an aquaponics system there, and that'll be the filtering like a natural pond, blah, 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 blah. But the water comes down, fills up the dam. I'll pump it up there, or it'll overflow. Once I have dams higher on the hill, just gravity feed will fill the pond. So I'm using both gravity feed and pumps. But for right now, this water pumps to the pond, goes to the next pond, next pond, next pond, next pond. Those hold water, use those for irrigation. Eventually you can filter, use it for, whatever your toilets or washing or showering. I don't use any filtered water for drinking out here. I go to town for drinking water. Like I said, water is inherently dangerous, and I don't want to get into filtering it unless I actually had to. But anyway, so all this life is coming back, which is a great thing. Anywhere you build it, they will come. So I built the dam, and now all the plant life is coming, and they're just so beautiful. This one smells amazing, by the way. I don't know. I do know what it is. I forgot the name. I'm going to make lotion out of this. This is amazing. I make my own lotions. But anyway, we won't go through that. So anyway, all the life is growing on the back of the dam because there's more water underground here. This was the arroyo. These are some of the rocks that were in here. So more of that water seeping in the ground. So when the water backs up, seeps in the ground. But what I've noticed, and I did notice on this one actually, is there are cracks all in here. Like you can see the clay and the bentonite, but it's not truly sealed because you have lots of rocks and sand that come down the arroyo. But there are cracks all in here. So this will hold water for a few days, but the water drains out. But what's cool is the water drains out slow. So the water backs up here. I use the water when the ponds are filled. The water still continues to slowly drain, and it drains out the backside right here. And the cool thing about that is that imagine if you had 20 dams going all the way up the arroyo, and they all were slowly seeping a stream of water out through the cracks, not through the dam, which would destroy the dam, but under the dam where there already is an underground channel for water to go that won't affect the structure of the dam. It means you have water trickling here. You do that 20 times, it means you have a stream. That stream could run for weeks. That stream could run for months, depending on how much water you dam up. Now everything has water to drink. The deer, the elk, the bunnies, the coyotes, the mountain lions. Life comes back. Like that's how you restart streams. But anyway, it is a way to restart streams. There are a lot of other ways. All right, this was supposed to be a 5-minute video, but that's kind of how it goes. She's a beast. But I got to get going. The Bobcat threw a belt yesterday, so I got to replace probably 2 belts. Not a belt. It burst a hose. I got to replace that hose and probably replace the other hose. It wants to throw the belt, and it throws belts too. She's ancient and she's old. Methuselah drove this Bobcat. However, I'm going to make this M371 do some heavy labor, and I love it. They don't make things how they used to. I don't know how that thing holds on, but I got to get together. I got to get that hose, get that replaced. Every day I try to spend an hour or 2 on the Bobcat. It doesn't happen. To me, that's playing. It's fun. Anybody who has a construction job, if your husband works on heavy equipment, they don't actually have a job. They're just playing for life. I would drive the Bobcat all day if I didn't get Bobcat butt. Bobcat butt is when you ride the Bobcat too much and your butt starts to shape like the seat of the bobcat, that's not fun at all. Nope, you walk very funny after that. But that's not actually working. That's fun. And I have real work I have to do. But thank goodness a lot of that work does involve creating dams and ponds for the bobcat. Last update I'll do, and I get out of here because I didn't mean to hold y'all for 30 minutes. I try to do quick videos, but like I said, I'm so backed up in what I have to tell you and all the things I've learned that I'm just going to have to start dumping it out. I'll probably say things 2 or 3 times. I apologize. Again, these are raw videos. I'm kind of just talking through them. Oh, this is the current thing with the chickens. They were trying to eat that murder hornet. See the murder hornet? Skews the look of things. The dog, this is the area they like to drag everything and eat it. Good Lord. Anyway, that wasp, they say, has the second most painful sting in the world. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what it is. There's my ugly rooster. What's going on, Bucko? He's one-eyed. He's a one-eyed rooster. Got him from my neighbor. He's loving it right now because he's got about 26 virgins or so in here, all the other hens. And he's a punk. I don't know why. Why didn't you kill that snake, brother? Why didn't you kill the snake? You should have killed the snake. This is the coop I found a rattlesnake in. He was over in the corner over there by the compost, which probably is a good idea. Do not put your compost too close to where you live because you're going to get rattlesnakes because the mice probably go to the compost. And I think the snakes are eating the chicken eggs. I'm not sure, but we'll figure that out. But those were the bigger chicks. Well, they were chicks a few months ago. And I released them with the other girls and they fought for a little bit, but now like there's a pecking order and everybody's happy. And those are the chicks I just released yesterday, no, 2 days ago. And so I didn't really, they are released. They can come out here in the main area or they can go back in their own area and be protected. And I don't see any dead chicks in here. So for the moment, it's working. Huh? What? You can't even see me. Why are you looking at me with your oh, you know what? Look at that. You see how he's trying to look at me with that eye? He's not completely blind. Or maybe he is. I don't know. I feel like he was looking at me with that eye. Anyway, he was getting beat up by another chicken, another rooster, and that's why I took him from my neighbor. But anyway, the chicks can come in and go out and do as they need to. But in that Tupperware box right there are the new chicks. So I got another 12 chicks or so over there, which I'll eventually get these guys when they're comfortable being out here, let them stay in the outer area, get these little guys, put them in their section of the coop, which looks like a section of the roof was blown off. High winds, I have to work on that. But that's another project. Good roofing and high winds. We'll talk about that later. And then they'll be pushed out here when they can get along. There's a pecking order. Everyone respects each other. And then I'll put the little chicks over there. But anyway, too much. I've said too much. I'm going to get going. Got a lot of work to do. It's already like 8:30. And what am I doing today? Well, I got to replace the hose on the bobcat. I got to take the hose off the bobcat. I got to go get water. So get that trailer running. The welds are holding from yesterday. I got to do some planning. I've got a work week coming up. We're having about 12 people coming out to do some work. I got to water. Every day I plant. There's the one of the aquaponic grow beds right there. It's probably the most productive one. I figure I'd share it. And I know I just said I was leaving, but I do that. Mint. I got figs that I'm starting from cuttings. I've already got 3 or 4 of those in the ground. Romaine right there, celery right there. Here's another mint. I just use this for cuttings. I just cut them. Basil right there. Here's some more romaine. There's some onions. This is a sugar cane, which kind of boggles my mind because now sugar cane apparently loves aquaponics. There's some tomatoes right here. And the first thing say, you're overplanted. You planted too much in your grow bed. That's not how aquaponics works. So, go educate yourself. You can plant as much as you want in the aquaponic grow bed as long as they're getting water. The plants are going to be happy. And if it ever gets overcrowded, like those tomatoes right there, I can just put my hand under the rocks, dig them up, put them in a pot or put them in the ground, anything I want to do, or put them in another aquaponic system, which is probably what I end up doing. I want to make about 10 of these beds. What's real cool for you survivalists is that this grow bed alone, which is about 6 by 3, I could literally eat from. This could feed me. All this lettuce, I pick from this lettuce. I always look for a good leaf I always get one that doesn't have slugs. which is weird. I don't know how there are slugs in the desert, but they, you see that? I'm not eating that. That has a slug on it. But this is chicken food. That's weird how that works. I picked the leaf with the slug on it. But that proves to y'all I'm not lying. Chickens, come on, chicken. I scared the hell out that chicken. Not this one. Like, oh, yo, look at that bug. Look at the bug. Get the slug. Thank you, baby. Woo! Awesome. Now go ahead and eat that lettuce. That's why I like live streams. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do live streams. I got to figure out a good time and place to do live streams on here. Because now this is 35 minutes of a 5-minute video. All right, last thing. So anyway, a little more basil. And here's another good, I bought this basil at the store. It was on sale. It was almost dead. I didn't even clear the dirt away. If you were a part of my earlier aquaponic channel when I first started doing aquaponics 15 years ago, you gotta clean the root system and get all the dirt off of it and blah, 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 blah. Put it in the rocks and dig it, make sure that oh, that's nonsense. It's fun telling nature what it can and can't do and how to do it. Nature knows what it's doing. I took this basil right out the pot, which is why you can see the round shape in the dirt, and I literally, it's another slug. I stuck that thing in the ground, not in the ground, in the rocks, and I forgot about it. Now this thing is lush. I just need to cut it back, make a bush out of it. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to die, sir. I'm saying, no, not me. You're gonna have to die, sir. Not me, no. Sorry. Oh, they don't see him. Well, you might make it. If you make it back to the aqua, nope, the rooster got you. The rooster got you. One eye got you. You know what? We're going to name that rooster. What's that one-eyed pirate? Blackbeard, which is bearded and black. We might call him Redbeard. But anyway, slugs in the desert. Let me finish this so I can go. This is one. I think this is butter crunch lettuce. I forgot the name. That's that speckled weird lettuce. There's more celery right there. Here's some more romaine. I have no idea what the heck this is. I think it might have been broccoli, a certain type of it. This was another broccoli, which is trying to go to seed. I'm not worried about. There's some more celery back there. Looks like that's another tomato. Let me walk around the other side. There's more mint right here. Good Lord. So all of this I make essential oils with. So if you buy essential oils, buy them from me. Dun, 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 dun. Shameless plug. So I need to cut this back, and I need to make cuttings out of all of it. There's so much to do. I just don't. Oh, tomato! Oh, bunch of tomato. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot, it's time to eat. Hold on. I'm sorry. Also, when you go digging in here, make sure there are no rattlesnakes in here. And they love tomatoes too. But this is mine. I know, Redbeard. I know you want it. You're not gonna get it. This is my hair on. All right. But I'm gonna share. Let me get the one that's on the ground. There's one. Here you go, Redbeard. Boop boop. Boom. Nope, someone already got it. And then how women will do you? They're just fighting. All right. I was going to eat the rest of these, but I love my chickens. Little eggs come out of their butts. And I love the eggs that come out of their butts. I know. I'm going to give you some more. Hold on. Uh-oh. If I can get it through the fence line. But be careful. Rattlesnake area. There's another one. Where'd it go? I don't know. She got it. And they're going to leave her alone. Because she is a matriarch and she will beat that tail. See? They left her alone. Let's get another one in here. He got it. He's off. Boom, boom, boom. They're going to chase him because he was one of the young chicks. I know. Everybody's not going to get one. Y'all daddy's only got... Look, no fighting. Why can't we all just get along? All right, one Redbeard looks like he got that one. All right, last one. One of the big matriarchs out. Oh, look, they ran up to it like they were like, oh no, forget that. She's evil. Now she's trying to figure out, can I get it? I got it and get away. Because she'll beat you up. But anyway, I was another neighbor that gave me those two hens that beat everybody up before the rooster came and the rooster beat them up. But there's a pecking order. There's so much work to do. All right, I'm going to get going. Oh, the dogs are back. So, yeah, the dogs, looks like they took a little bit of a hike this morning. Livestock Guardian 1, Hercules. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Hercules. And Livestock Guardian 2, this is Hulk. Hey, Hulk. Believe it or not, these guys are puppies. And they're already at least 100 pounds. Look at the size of those paws. I know, and y'all stink. Y'all playing in the water because you're hot. I know. He is a love bug. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna get going. You guys have a great day. I'll do some more update videos. I have to call this an update because this is ridiculously long. That's about it. This is Gerard greening my area, portion of West Texas. Try to be decent and excellent to each other. Bye-bye.